Hi. Okay. Number 2, second video. Yesterday we had a really cool chat, which was very spontaneous. Miss Summer graced us with her presence from Jamaica, and that sounded like a Geordie accent. And she shared some really cool stuff. I was talking with Teresa and Kit and myself and Summer, and it was like the christening initiation of the chat, which was pretty awesome. So thank you, Summer, who is on fire. Now, we were talking about the synchronicities, which are not synchronicities. It's basically us manifesting and drawing certain things. And just now I was posting pictures of the sky because it's really beautiful and blue, and there's really beautiful clouds, and it's like literally the perfect sky. So I'm kind of in a good vibe space. I mean, you know, there's going to be war all over the planet, but I'm feeling better than ever. Never ever felt happier. Super irritable, but I'm in my own space, and I feel amazing in my own space, which is a miracle in of itself. So finally at peace. So this beautiful sky, and I was posting pictures of this really intense blue, no filter, and putting blue hearts, and then I wanted to put blue, red, blue, which got me thinking, what does blue and red mean? What does the color combination of blue and red mean? Because we know everything is a spell. Everything's a spell. And one of my favorite kind of characters that messages is this TJ primary Q guy, and he just kind of, I had a bing, 15,000 forwarded messages for that minute, and it was all about red and blue. So yeah, it's just magic, and it's happening all around. We just got to learn how to use it and how to tap into it, and how to free ourselves of the other matrix, right? So I do want to talk about black magic and mind control, and how the mind control that's happening with the masses now is black magic, because it's all done with the word, it's all done with spells. Which we know are spellings. Learn your spellings, learn your spells. All you need is a wand to direct your energy. But you can use your finger, in fact you can use your eye, you can use your intention. You don't even need to be there. It's the word. In the beginning was. And if you you can put an L in there. And then you get world, which is actually the real meaning is world. So they whirled the word. They whirled up the words, and they created, gosh, I've just dove straight into it today without any ado. It's gonna get better and better. Look at me, I'm giddy, so you have to forgive me. I don't know what these frequencies, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I'm kind of on fire in my brain. The word and the world, and the spells, and the black magic is where we are right now, because the word is everything. And the words that we probably resonate the most, or the words that we kind of embody the most, is the I am, which should never be in a box. Hyphenated, as are Russell J. Gould. If you don't know who he is, you probably should check him out. He's the Postmaster General, top guy of everything to do with transportation around the seas and around the Earth, the planet Earth. Anyway, he's all tied up in all of this. He has a major key. This actually kind of brings me to something that I was kind of debating what I wanted to share with you today. And I want to share a bit about this, but I also was thinking that I wanted to kind of like actually list and go through the journey I've been through in the past 2 years. Actually, that probably would be a whole new video. But this guy was definitely towards the beginning of the first lockdown that I was sitting down, watching videos, making notes, and researching what he was talking about and talking to other people and thinking it through, because it just made so much sense. The way that we have been ruled, it's a matrix, right? Ruled paper. We have been ruled. It's all about the word. It's all about the word and the written word and the spoken word, and they've mind controlled the way we speak to ourselves even. That's what I want to come on to, is that AI. With the M missing, I don't even know. So, yeah, the word is everything. The word is everything. So Russell J. Gould talks about quantum grammar. Quantum grammar is the free grammar. The grammar in the English language is basically, I used to think, I didn't fully understand, I should say, how, I don't know how, there isn't a word to describe what the English language is, but there isn't a single word in the English language existing that isn't a spell. And there's multiple meanings for words that sound the same, which is confusing. It's all the Babel, Tower of Babel. It's like, something was done there. We had our brains scrambled. We had everything scrambled. We have to speak using this floppy bit of meat inside our mouth, which is kind of horrible when you think about it. But we 80% we communicate here. So hopefully my orange is gonna give you some good old-fashioned solar plexus positive energy. I want to give you some positive energy so you can go off and do your own thing and be sovereign. Please be sovereign. Just be sovereign. Be you. Be unique. That's what we need. Right. Okay. So Russell J. Gould, natural. So again, it's not to get too tied up in all of this, because these are just keys to get out. Once you actually fully realize who you are and where you are, you're kind of pretty much there. We're just lacking a couple of tweaks that we would need for us to be able to fully employ our gifts. I think the way I see it is our DNA is being switched on bit by bit, because it's a lot of frequency that you hold as it's being kind of like switched on. You're gonna, it's like, to me it feels like it's in stages, which I guess goes with the whatever solar flares those are, whether they're real solar flares or not, it doesn't matter. Coming from the central sun and the sun of my imagination and my dreams, as I imagine it to be, I receive those codes. I really do. Which is why I'm vibing when it's a shit show out there. Alright, so black magic and mind control. A lot of people wouldn't imagine that the two are anything to do with each other, but they're absolutely two ways of talking about the exact same thing, because it's all about spells. It's all about putting people under a spell. That's what black magic is. And, people are horrified because black magic is sacrifice, but we now know MK Ultra, mind control, CIA, and all of that is nothing more than a whole bunch of satanic, controlling, cubic AI energy. It's not biological. It's anti-life, and it exists at a certain frequency, which is basically heading down this way. So that's where it's existing on the spectrum of whatever hertz it is down here, and we're on our way up and beyond over here. So it's kind of like that, and I think there's a point where this energy meets a buffer, and this is whatever hertz. You can literally put in your own numbers, take a screenshot, zoom in and fill it in. What hertz are you at? I don't know. I'm going to say I'm at 777,077. I might even be another 7. Yes. There you go. That's where I'm vibing at right now. All the sevens. 777,777 hertz. Anyway, so there's a buffer where the low vibe should become invisible, you know, and what we're doing on our journey every day is sometimes we're waking up here and then we're going down there and then we're here and then we're going up there, and we are on this roller coaster, which is, look, it's an energetic wave, and we're riding the wave. We're not resisting the wave. Anyone that's listening to me speak and is interested in what I'm saying will know what I'm talking about, and this is what we're trying to stay away from. And so I know I've been very stuck and attached to the 3D Matrix stories because of wanting to save people. Doesn't matter what your intention of being there is. At the end of the day, the more people that fully get out, the better it is for everyone. So, you know, that oxygen mask, the save yourself first thing, really is the only thing that we've ever heard from that reality that kind of makes its real sense. It's survival skills. And we're supposed to be running on not survival skills, but on our instinct all the time, what feels good. And we're supposed to go with the flow. And the issue right now is that we're trapped in a frequency that's so low, so below the frequency that we were originally created to vibrate at or resonate at, as this kind of, you know, beautiful mass consciousness creation, which and the job of that creation, of the manifestation of the beings of that creation, which is kind of like human angelic race. The mission was to terraform and beautify and you know, create expansion wherever they went. And I suspect that they traveled from planet to planet to kind of terraform in a way, to kind of, you know, I don't know, that's my little kind of take on it. I don't really think that the Anunnaki are our masters, who I know that they are, obviously there's lots of, you know, genetic DNA, but obviously you're looking, when you talk about Anunnaki and you talk about Sirius B and you talk about all these things and starseeds, it's still a story of another story of separation. And, you know, obviously the closer and closer and closer you get to source, you know, the less separation there is. And isn't that where we're aiming? Because the other way leads to a closed annihilation system. And so as an expansive energy, I'm heading for source because it's expansive. It's not stuck like it is down here. So I'm not sure what I just channeled or said then. Didn't channel, just kind of feel the energy. But yeah, so we're not able to fully kind of get up there because we're kind of bound by the yeah, sorry, I like the wave. Everything is waves, right? So ride the wave, and the aim is to get to the singularity, but actually no, it's not. So the singularity would be a, you know, very gentle wave that you could ride out, not flatlining though. In fact, it could even be so fast that it just becomes a big block of energy. Anyway, now I'm just going into other dimensions. Yeah, I mean, the point is to be able to switch at will between frequencies. So what I suspect is coming up is we're going to be holding space for a lot of people who are going to be down here for a hell of a long time, and you know, they're really going to be stuck there in a cycle and coming up not very far. I mean, they're going to be kind of just like this. I mean, they are going to be flatlining in a very low vibration, and we are going to have to, as we have done all our lives, and you know who you are, you know who I'm talking to, it's our time, and we do it with love and grace and authenticity, okay? And I'm a bit cheeky, so it's entertaining. I always wanted to be in Hollywood. So anyway, they're going to be kind of here, and we're going to have to, you know, we want to be here, right? We want to be just going up. We're just kind of like, oof, we don't want to deal with all this black magic shit and all the words and the rules and the rulers and the nonsense and it's so flimsy. It's literally the word is everything, which I'm going to come back to, literally the word. your word. It's why what's his name? Don Miguel, you know, the Four Agreements. Why is his name not coming? Doesn't matter, he's my brother. The Four Agreements, and the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. It's so powerful, and I fully now understand exactly what he meant. And we had all these people giving us amazing information and guidelines, right, of how to kind of escape the matrix. Be impeccable with your word. Number 2 is never make assumptions. Number 3 is never take anything personally. And number 4 is always do your best. Just always do your best. Whatever you're doing, just do it the best you can in any given moment. So just always ask yourself, am I doing my best right now? Am I doing my best? Sometimes it's okay not to. Anyway, back to the vibrations and the frequencies and the words. Even the words that they have created, they have vibration, you know, the way that we say them. And that's why the English and Germanic and the guttural kind of language is it's a very artificial. It doesn't flow like the other languages. But the best language of all, if you're using your mouth, is light language, which is your own language. Because why would we want to share everything and say things exactly the same? You know, when you hear kids speak and people go, oh, I don't understand, it's because they're not tuning into the child. They're not tuning into what the child is, really the energy of what, and the frequency they're giving off. And then the child gets frustrated. It happened to me. I've seen it happen so many times as a mother. And you know, the kid comes up all excited, and these are very small children, and obviously a lot of parents are very patient, and they, you know, and you, as you should, you make up a conversation. But a lot of kids get frustrated because they're then having to take all that energy and expansion and kind of like, you know, parcel it into a little, and then all of the magic's lost and it's kind of like, you know, it's like me, it takes me forever to build up an energy and to kind of get across what I'm trying to say. And because quite often I'm just working through it in my head. I've got an idea and I'm like, okay, I'm just thinking about words, and it's like infinite, the information, because of the combinations of the words are infinite. However, the fact that they are spoken currently with just a, you know, with a mouth, and if you can't hear with your 5 sense ears, then, you know, or see the lips move with your 5 sense eyes, you consider yourself to be unable to communicate. But it's all meant to be coming from the heart and from the soul. And it's telepathy. It's telepathy. Everything is immediate. Everything is immediate with us, until we got trapped into this space-time matrix. Okay, now space-time matrix in itself is fine, it's fun, and we're supposed to play with it, and they're playing with it right now for sure, because space and time ain't doing what it used to. So I'm trying to kind of manipulate it for my benefit, because, well, actually, you know what, I'm not even doing that. I've just let go of it. I'm up all hours, and it doesn't matter. I'm up and I'm asleep and I do whatever, although I don't probably sleep very much in the day. However, I do spend a lot of time in silence. I sometimes feel like I live in a church at times. All the houses that I live in here have felt like churches. I guess I'm just maybe holding space. That's why I don't like to leave. But look at this. Oops. Okay, kind of just ruined the video because you can't see what I can see through that because it's too bright. But anyway, it's beautiful blue and fluffy clouds, and I love it, especially after that rain, which, yeah, definitely went down into the city. Okay, Black Magic, mind control words. I am, right? So we don't say I am sad, I am angry, I am hungry, because the I am phrase is a state of being, which is why they gave us the names. so that when we introduce ourselves or we write a story about ourselves, it's I am Kerry. Or when people are asked to answer the question, who are you? And they will put, I am Kerry, I am a teacher, I am 51 years old, I am married, I am a mother, and it's a list of labels, and we were given this list of labels as children in the playground and the school nursery and our parents' homes, where our parents were desperate to work out how to connect with these bundles of life that had just come upon them, because our parents were really royally screwed by their parents, who were screwed by their parents, who was, and it's just been all the way carried down karma. None of us ever have the tools to be able to bring up and fully be present with giving a birth to a child as a couple, or, you know, as a family. It's not just about the mother and the father. It's about the grandparents, it's about the village people, it's about everyone. It takes a village to bring up a kid. It's true. The child doesn't want to be stuck in a box with just the mom and dad, who are both really stressed, angry, confused, upset, and mentally exhausted because life just doesn't make sense, but they think they've made it make sense, and then a big problem comes and whacks them just to let them know, no, you haven't got, you doesn't, because nobody goes within. Everyone's so disconnected, and this isn't anyone's fault. This is the system of this invasion. We have been under an invasion for a very long time for our consciousness / souls, and it basically has really done a number on our psyche, our collective psyche. And right now we're under a massive finale of a psychological attack. And, you know, I say psychological because it is purely psychological. And it is. It just is. It's all in the mind. It really is. And I'm, rather than sit here and give you all the evidence of my whole life, and as I have been doing for the past 2 years, talking to people, like why, explaining why things don't make sense, giving my credentials about why things don't make sense. You know, remember I came into this awakening when the lockdown, it was day 1 of the lockdown, was when I was like, oh, okay, what's happening? Something's happening. But before that day, I already had been inducted to the likes of David Wilcock, who I consider to be a complete soul brother, if some information is missed. But lately he's just saying it as it is. And his latest transmission was really cool. It was another 3-hour corker with a really awesome meditation at the end. But yeah, he says some cool stuff, and I really enjoy listening to him. I love listening to David Icke, just to get like constant kind of like, it's easier to kind of remember certain facts when you listen to people that you resonate with, because you just feel it rather than remembering the facts, figures, dates and words, because we don't need all of that anymore. It's just about, we need to start to communicate with feelings. So even if you don't understand what I'm saying, it doesn't matter, because you're going to get a lot from the energy of everything. 80% is subconscious. It's going in there. We are connecting. So yes, David Icke, David Wilcock, many people, all talking about the same thing, and ultimately it's down to the holy grail quest, isn't it? And what are we all looking for? What do we all want? We want to love and be loved, and in the biggest possible sense ever, and not to have that limited in any way, and also to be able to navigate our way around the kingdom of love and light in any way, shape or form that we see fit, right? Following the 2 major rules, which I'm going to forget the second one again, which is basically free will and navigate from your heart. I guess we could add a couple more, but just free will and in love, to be a part of this kind of process that we're going through. And you don't even have to actively go out necessarily and do stuff. You can just have the intention, and a real intention. You don't just think it and forget about it. It's like a real yearning to connect and have people connect and ascend. So I'm going on and on, but I know that I'm talking about black magic and the word, and I also am trying to tie it into the holographic reality, which we ultimately have complete control over, because God, or Source, the prime creator, or the infinite creator, gave each of us a vessel to kind of steer through the waters of life. And the vessel is your body. Your body is like a spaceship. It's a universal traveling machine. It's amazing, because look at it. It's like, it's biological. It's crazy what God. It's amazing what God created this. And originally, this form that I'm currently in, and that we're all currently in, was something that we just went in and out of at will, using the frequency, which actually brings me back to what I was saying before about our job, our mission here on Earth is to have been able. So what happens with the frequency? That's come back. I wanted to say that. So we're up here, they're down here, vibrating really negative, right? We're in a really cool space. This negative energy's got a ceiling here, just cancels out, because all of this is like just positive stuff, and here it's just negative, right? They're flatlining, and we have to I'm going to sit down here for a bit with them, and then there's going to be more negatives coming around the positive, right? Which actually, oh my gosh, brings me back to something I've been talking about for years, randomly, usually when I was drunk at parties, and I used to talk about the the atom. And I used to sit down and decide that I needed to explain to people the nature of the atom and the subatomic particles and electrons and neutrons and blah, 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 and how it meant that ultimately we were all connected and that nothing really existed except through electromagnetic forces. And of course we know that the electromagnetic forces have been distorted for a very long time. This is causing issues between the male and the female polarities. It's like when the energies come together, this other energy gets in the way, and it just causes a repulsion. Now, in many cases recently, that repulsion worked to an advantage, because it got many people out of situations or relationships that would not have served them well. Although I suspect if they hadn't already got out, or they probably got out during the past 2 years. So we are going to have to come and sit down here and radiate, and then kind of travel back up here, right? Whether we take any little electrons with us, right? Remember, we're always going this way, always. It doesn't matter what dimension we're in. We could be in the 7th density now. Okay, and we could be in the 111th dimension. Someone can do some gematria on that one if you want. I'm going to have to stop, I think, because I'm getting a bit of a neck ache, and I did bring up some rather demonic energy earlier, which it's been transmuted, but I'm going to go to the sun. And my daughter's just arrived back from school, which is incredible. Oh no, she hasn't. She's on her way. That was next door. Okay, one thing before I go. Thinking about this, thinking about how we have to go down here and then we have to come back up, means basically we have to be able to control our vibration, frequency, our energy. So I just want to share one more thing about the black magic and the word, which kind of haven't got to, and I kind of am realizing because I'm not supposed to keep saying it. But okay, so this is us. Okay, I'm going to make that smaller so we can have a bigger world around us. It's all about Alice in Wonderland. They eat me cake and they drink me potion. Okay, so here I am. I'm going to talk about the Taurus field another time, but I can also actually direct you to other people who are better at that. So I'm going to link in a really amazing video I saw recently that just tied in the whole Taurus field thing, but I've got a slightly different, actually no, we had a very similar take. So wherever it's coming from your heart, right? And then we have our pineal. And the two work together to create our wings, our butterfly wings, right? Which is this field of energy that comes off us. I saw my aura today, it was ultraviolet blue. So I was looking at my fingers against the sun and they were lighting up blue. And fingers are magic. Our hands are what create the magic and the word and what's the thought, okay? And so we breathe. Here is your donut-shaped earth, your holographic reality, okay? And this is the screen, okay? And we project whatever we want onto the screen. We have whatever we want on the screen. Here are the stars that shine for us because that's our limiting end of, which I think is what we see in the dome at the moment, is the stars, is the consciousness on the outside and coming in, right? Although we also have the fake stars. There's definitely different types of stars. Now, this is the way it's supposed to be. So you're creating a beautiful, expansive reality that has no bounds and no ends, right? Look how happy this little orange girl is. So happy. She's come into the world, her pineal's on fire, it's connected directly to God's source, right? Which is why we think up, because it's up is our analogy. It doesn't matter which way you're facing, it's just a sense of up, right, as opposed to down, but we're actually just projecting outward. We if you take away the floor and you stay in your position and your chair's floating, we are in the middle of the universe. You know, we've been so conditioned with just even the way we think of things as being up and down. Like I see ants running along the floor and then they run up the wall, but they're running on the wall. To them, they're just running on the wall. It's the same as the floor. There's no difference. They don't get to the wall and go, oh no, it's going to take... They don't... To them, gravity does not... The concept of gravity doesn't exist. The concept of a floor and a wall, of a box, doesn't exist. So they run along and they get to the wall and then they just go up it as fast as they go along it, because the wall doesn't... It's not a wall, it's still the floor, right? So, and they're just in a flow, and the way they move is kind of quantum. I'm a bit obsessed with ants at the moment because I have a lot of them in my house and I don't like to kill them. Anyway, this is us, this is who we are. However, this is how most people think they are and how we've been programmed to actually see the world and view our reality. And as you're going to see, it's very limiting. So here again is the person, the little person. Look, even my ink's become grey. Now, to this person, they have also got a holographic donut-shaped earth. But the thing is, theirs looks kind of probably round, but in fact, it's actually a box. They actually have a box around them. And the box is like the TV shape, it's the cube. And what's happening is, they're getting things coming at them from a fake reality, and their aura is very, very small because they're trying to protect themselves from this incoming. Their heart is being compressed and they're not able to project the heart energy out because of this cube energy that was around us. And this cube energy, which is the AI and the BG, oh my God, the BGs, you know what I'm talking about, right? The poo, and which is also, I guess, why, yeah, it just, everything makes sense. It's all so simple. We were invaded and they took over everything. And we are eternal beings of light who are able to go in and out of frequency and dimension and density at will, wherever we needed, in whatever form we're needed is what we are supposed to be doing and what we need to learn to do again. But it's stepping stones, right? First of all, you have to really fully feel it and understand it. It's going to be wildfire once it starts, and this whole ascension process, you know, it's not a destination. It's a state of being. It's a state of mind, and it you know. And this is so the thing is that, you know, your thoughts create your word, swords. Your sword. The word is the sword. That's why in tarot, the sword card, I always get the Queen of Swords. It's what you know, you slay with this. This is a weapon. The word is a weapon. We know, even just like they're taking the piss with the jab, the shot, that whole narrative around that was weapons. Anyway, and that creates your reality. Right? We manifest. Now, I was thinking about the word manifest as well before I go. Thinking about Malaysia MH370. There's a TV show at the moment called Manifest, and I was thinking about what is, so a manifest is what they put a list of names, and they always refer on a plane. We have, like, you know, 320 souls on board, right? So we're on board, on a board. Right, so what does that mean? And suddenly those souls, when they're on the plane, become manifest into reality. They're no longer the names of the individuals. They don't say people, they call them souls, because, and I don't know if anyone wants to try and work that out or link it in, or you know, why do they refer to people as being souls when you're on board a plane? I assume a boat as well. So here we are, poor little Mr. Smith, or whatever, he's completely boxed in. That's why the TV is called the box, right? And to free your mind, the first thing you do is you get rid of the device, right? So that's the first thing you do. So you get yourself a bit of space. And what's going to happen is your field's going to suddenly get a little bit wobbly, and you're not going to like how it feels, because it's different and it feels a little bit oh, I don't like this, and you'll feel, literally kind of feel a little bit seasick, like you'll feel it in your gut. It's like it's the feeling that you would get when you get bad news or things are just going really awful, and you just, that feeling. But the minute you get yourself in nature and you start to kind of reclaim your space, you are going to feel like you've just been thrown onto a dinghy on a crazy raging high storm sea, whatever, and you are like, whoa, and you really want to go, but you want the box back, you need the comfort. And then what's going to happen is that the energy that was coming from the box is going to be kind of just flying around a bit, right? And eventually it's going to settle. And the thing to do is to just keep focusing on your heart, because what we can do with our heart is incredible. The heart is everything. And Teresa knows all about this. It's her special subject. Teresa is amazing at helping people to connect with their heart and to play. She's all about playing, because we were children and we were born into this reality. And when we were originally coming in as humans, I feel, when we were coming here to be the gardeners of Gaia, you know, we came because it was fun and it was beautiful and it was amazing and we could learn in a really incredible way. And then obviously it kind of changed. Maybe it changed because it needed to, God needed to create greater and greater experience, more and more shadow, because you can't have one without the other, right? And this is part of what's happening now, is that people are refusing to face their shadow because it hurts your heart. But the problem is the heart has been compressed for so long, And, you know, everybody's starving. Everybody needs the mother energy to come and to love them, which is why a few of us are going to get together in a special place and really channel that divine feminine energy and freaking send it out around this planet and take it for ourselves, because everybody needs to be loved by a mother. Everyone, whether you're a mother yourself or a daughter. You know, we fell into these stereotypes, didn't we, so easily, where nowadays the children quite dismissive, the teenagers, of the parents these days. And it's very sad, you know. I've had it happen to me, and it's my fault, because I kind of used a textbook to bring up my kid, because I didn't want to make the same mistakes my mother did. And I only realised too late, although it's never too late, right? Everything's a lesson and we're here for a reason. But, you know, everybody was making a mistake because everybody was being mind controlled, and everybody was being, yeah, well, that's all other stuff, you know. We know what's happening. If you're listening to this, we know why. So anyway, I'm going to stop. I know I just digressed and I lost my track. It doesn't matter. Yeah, what reality are we creating? And, you know, like today is a beautiful day. I could say that I'm creating an amazing reality. I know I was talking about something, and I'll go back to it, and maybe not. I know that I'm creating my reality because I've got this beautiful blue sky. Now, tomorrow, if something happens that's negative, it might seem to be, that doesn't belong in my reality. So I'm gonna kind of diffuse my emotions. Oh, I'm sorry, I was gonna get back to this, right? How am I gonna do that? How am I gonna diffuse my emotions? By focusing on the heart energy. I was talking about Teresa, excuse me, who can. So I'm gonna start working on pushing out a bit of love, right? Into my realm, into my space, into my holographic reality, you know? I'm gonna start making my earth. Oh, this is what Summer said yesterday. Woo! Talk about channeling in groups. This is when we're all on the same vibration, yeah. So I'm gonna start pushing out little bits of my heart energy into my realm. And, you know, they might be tiny little bits, and they might look like they just suddenly puff away, because what's going to happen as I put out my little heart energy, these little oops, it's red, it doesn't matter, oh gosh, these little things are going to be like the arrows. Oh my gosh, you're loving this, aren't you, Teresa and Summer and anyone else? So as we're pushing out, but the thing is, and it's painful each time, but it's okay, because we know that ultimately we exist in a universe of love. And so we're going to get there eventually if we just keep pushing out bigger and bigger amounts of love. And it takes time, and then the hearts get bigger, and the energy it takes to that's running around is doof, and then that energy runs out, and eventually we're going to clean up here. Somebody find out about that manifest and the souls on board. Well, I'm going to look into it, but somehow I'm not so good at kind of researching stuff like that, because I kind of know the answer, that it's something to do with them controlling us. But anyway, so here we are. Let's just have a truthful blue person. This is a dress, some boots, or it could be anything. It's a duck, obviously. Blue hair. This reminds me of Imogen. When she was younger, she dyed her hair blue. And she's this lady here is one of the representatives who's here. I'm going to give her a hat. Hope you're enjoying this. She has one of those. Oh, the Venusians have the red berries, don't they? Oh my god, this is crazy. I was just, honestly, I've got to take a picture of this and send it into TJ. We were just having a conversation about red and blue. How does that happen? Oh my gosh, we make her have a nicer hat than that. It's supposed to be a little berry. She's got it wonky. Oh god. Sorry everyone. Don't ask what I'm doing. Let's just make it a big blooming straw hat. Let's do it this way. Or a sombrero. Let's just be, you know what I'm going to do? All right. It's a sombrero, and it's gonna have, it looks like a flying saucer. I don't even know what it looks like anymore, so I'm gonna stop. But anyway, she's wearing a hat. Welcome to New Earth, and basically her heart says it, not her. And her energy is projecting. Oh, red and blue make purple, don't they? Ow, and it's infinite. So her reality is mountains, her reality is the beach. You know, it doesn't matter to her because she, wherever you want to be, you can be. You know, there's enough room for us, and so we now get to kind of create. We've got to put on our red beret. I don't even know. I'm going to give her a headscarf. I'm sorry. I am very a perfectionist, so I'm going to just give her a nice little like tennis. Yeah, that's it. She's going to be a tennis player. There you go. John McEnroe, or what's his name? Agassi. No, she's a hippie chick. Anyway, right, I'm going to stop because it's 46 minutes and I'm talking rubbish. But basically, I'm not talking rubbish at all, sorry. But I'm babbling a bit. I'm losing my track. I'm not babbling. Oh, I think I need to go because someone's knocking at the door. Okay, later.